board meeting will come to order. To honor America and to remember those serving our nation, please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Pat, would you go ahead and call the roll, please?
Mr. Birdsong.
Here.
Mrs. Shelton. Here. Mr. Cox.
Here.
Mr. Floral.
Here.
Ms. Galloway. Here. Mrs. Miller. Here. Mr. Schmidt.
Here.
Mr. President, there is 7 board members present, therefore we did have a quorum.
Thank you, Pat. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the prior board meeting from August 22nd, 2019?
So moved.
I have a second.
I second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved. This morning we have Carl McLeod with us, one of our county commissioners. Carl, do you have any words you'd like to share with us?
Sure. Morning, everybody. Just hope that everybody's had a chance by now to read the mayor's letter on the ambulance service. If I broke it down to you very quickly, it would mean that we have an ALS, Advanced Life Savings Ambulance, that sits in Fairfield, Glade all the time now. And if it gets called out, then one of the ones from the city will meet them about halfway, depending where they're at, and it will bring another ALS into the Fairfield Glade, so we'll always have that double coverage. And once the P-Line Road extension is completed, then we'll do another CTAS report and see if we need to add another ambulance or not. Okay, any other questions for me?
Thank you, Carl.
Yep.
Okay, this morning's comments. We are focused on the future. It is both an honor and a privilege to be selected as the president of the Fairfield Glade Community Club Board of Directors. I appreciate the trust and the confidence that my fellow board members have shown in their decision, and it is humbling when I consider the responsibilities that come with this selection. We all want to thank Steve Smith for his many years of service to our Fairfield Glade community, and we appreciate Steve's leadership as our president over the past 1.5 years. We also want to thank Sharon for her support and encouragement of Steve. They have both dedicated themselves to doing everything in their power to make our community a better place than they found it. Steve has carried the unfair burden of vicious and personal attacks on his character and his motives. He has responded to these attacks on his reputation admirably and with restraint. We all owe both Steve and Sharon a debt of gratitude for their dedication and service to our community, and we look forward to Steve's continued service on the board and his advice and counsel as we continue to move Fairfield Glade forward. We also want to thank Barb Storr for her dedicated years of service to the board of directors. She has always provided insightful perspective to our deliberations and has been a valuable contributor to our decision-making process. We also want to thank her husband, Gary, for his commitment to serving our community through volunteering for the Fairfield Glade Fire Department. We look forward to their continued friendship and support. We welcome Diana Chalfant as she returns to the board of directors as the timeshare director. Diana served on the board from 2010 to 2013, and we look forward to working with her and her perspectives. Next year in 2020, Fairfield Glade will celebrate its 50th anniversary as a community. As we look to the past and celebrate, we will be highlighting the many accomplishments that have contributed to our growth and success as a vibrant and strong community. We are deeply grateful to those who laid the foundation and to those who accepted the challenges to continue to build and strengthen our community during the past 50 years. It is also important for us to look at where we are now and where we are going as a community. As we move forward into 2020 and focus on the future of Fairfield Glade, We expect to have a budget that will direct funding towards reserves to help us take full advantage of our future financial opportunities. We expect to be budgeting to keep pace with the cost of living, and will use fiscal restraint as we consider future expenditures. We will continue to support our Food and Beverage Committee as they work with our senior management team to further reduce the subsidies and to consolidate and restructure our restaurant operations. We'll continue to support our newly formed Major Capital Projects Committee as they continue to work on value engineering of our construction projects. We've already seen their impact on the early plans of our Racket Center renovation project. We'll continue to support our efforts of our newly formed Governmental Relations Committee as they work on building a cooperative and constructive relationship with our neighbors in Cumberland County. We'll continue to support the efforts of the Strategic Planning Committee as they develop for the first time a community master plan, an amenity development plan, and as we establish a commercial development committee to encourage the commercial development within Fairfield Glade and along the Peavine Road corridor. And finally, we will continue to work on our relationship with our new developer to encourage and support his plans for a new Mirror Lake venue. These are all extraordinary and exciting opportunities that will propel us into the next 50 years of growth and prosperity, and will ensure that Fairfield Glade will continue to be one of the best value master plan communities in the United States. But make no mistake, we have made our decision to focus on the future of Fairfield Glade. We have chosen our direction to move forward into the future, and we will not be deterred or distracted from our mission of continuously improving the resort lifestyle experience in Fairfield Glade while fostering and promoting a strong sense of community. On behalf of our 400-plus community club team members and 120 member volunteers that participate on our 15 advisory committees, and as your volunteer leadership team, it is our pleasure to serve you, and we thank you for your continued support. And with that, we'll move to the General Manager's report.
Thank you. Some master plan projects for the police department. The rain garden is almost complete. They're working on finalizing the outfall drainage for that, and then we'll have some plantings here in the next couple of months. So that will hopefully be done here before we go into wintertime. On Stonehenge Clubhouse interior improvements, we'll be having a purchase request later on in the meeting for that project, and I'll explain that at that point in time. Deferred maintenance, lake desilting process is almost complete. They're working on Lake Dartmoor right now, and I believe they have a little work to do back on Lake Pomeroy as well. The county chip and seal program is still in process. It's not complete yet, so they've told us that they will be accomplishing that before we get into the cold weather. And then our asphalt paving is complete, and they're in the process of striping the collector roads right now. I think Sam indicated Sneed Road is the only thing left to be done. Okay, thanks, Sam. Other items, year-to-date golf rounds through last month were 94,000. That's 3,200 fewer than budget, but 3,800 more than 2018 since the better weather this year. We still see timeshare and member rounds are the main categories that are lower than budget. But fortunately, we have some more rounds in the golf packages, which are higher paying rounds, so that offsets it a little bit. But we're still under budget from a revenue standpoint, but bottom line for golf is right on budget. And average rounds per course per day open are 106 compared to 105 in 2018. So again, when we're open, people are playing, so that's the good news. The last item, we always participate in the Taste of Crossville, and this year we won the best presentation for Legends in Stonehenge Grill. We typically win an award every year in Taste of Crossville, so F&B team does a great job there. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Bob. And now the resort report from our new director, Diana.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here and to speak with you this morning. We have lived in Fairfield Glade since 2007, and we absolutely love it. I have previously served on the community club board as the timeshare director, and I'm happy again to serve in that capacity. In addition, I serve on 4 Wyndham timeshare boards. I am involved in both of the boards at the Grand Desert Resort in Las Vegas, and I am also on the board of our own Kensington Woods and Wellington Place in the Glade, and I serve as the president of 3 of those 4 boards. I'm happy to represent our 8 associations, which account for over 50,000 guests coming to our community each year. Our timeshare associations have paid over $960,000 in amenities fee to the club this year, which includes nearly $100,000 in pool fees. In addition, we anticipate that our timeshare guests will pay over $1 million in amenity fees, as Bob was referring to, in their participation in our amenities when they come as our guests. During the month of August, we had 1,140 reservations, which should account for approximately 4,000 guests enjoying our community. We're looking forward to a beautiful fall and think that we'll have many more timeshare guests coming as the temperatures cool off. If you have any questions about our participation in the community club and any questions you may have about timeshare, I'll be happy to answer those at the conclusion of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. The Architectural Control Committee report, John.
Good morning.
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 Well, for the month of August, we did 167 approvals of exterior modifications. That brings us to a total for the year of 1,201, which compares to something like around 1,000 for last year. We have new homes approved for the month of it. It's 863 for the year. The homes started, for the year we're at 65 that have been started so far. Completions, there have been 58. We've also had lot mergers approved in both PSSS and for green space and other reasons for property lines. Any questions? Yes?
How many permits have been issued for Anderson's development? Is it Teakwood or Chick?
That information I don't have.
Okay.
It is Chestnut Ridge,
Chestnut Ridge.
and there's been 2 so far, but there's 2 more coming soon.
Thank you.
Hey, John. How does the home starts compare this year to last year? It seems like there's a lot of building going on.
Home starts last year about the same range. It was actually 67 last year, 63 this year. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John. The monthly financial report, Denise.
Morning. Well, we've had another good month. Sometimes my voice doesn't carry very well. I'll start with sewer. Well, the cash was $1.9 million. Property and equipment was $11.3 million. Equity $12.9 million. POA and amenities cash was $4.5 million. PP&E at $35.2 million, and equity at $35.6 million. If we look at sewer alone, results from operating activities is positive $626,000. That's $66,000 positive variance to budget, and a $52,000 positive variance to actual last year. The net capital income is positive $288,000. That's $112,000 better than budget, and that's due to sewer availability fees for the Chestnut Ridge and capacity fees. Excess revenue over expenses is positive $914,000, a positive $178,000 variance to budget, and a positive $125,000 variance to actual for the same period last year. Net cash flow after capital expenditures and debt principal is positive $176,000. We move to POA amenities. POA amenities results from operating activities is positive $548,000. A positive variance to budget of $577,000, and a positive variance of $660,000 to actual for the same period last year. Net capital income is positive $1.9 million. That is a negative variance to budget of $31,000 due to lower than anticipated liability. Overall, cash flow is positive $343,000, including capital income, capital expenditures, and debt service. POA alone has operating activities that are positive $428,000, has a positive variance to budget of $386,000, and a positive variance of $181,000 for the same period last year. Net cash flow is positive $1.7 million for the period. Amenities, results from operating activities is positive $120,000, a positive variance to budget of $162,000, and a positive variance of $479,000 to actual for the same period last year. Net cash flow is negative $1.3 million for the period. Food and beverage subsidy is a negative, or the subsidy is $302,000, positive variance to budget of $114,000, and positive variance of $163,000 to actual for the same period last year. This positive variance for the budget is primarily due to wages, and that was the reduction of wages from the general manager acting as our food and beverage director. Golf results from operating activities is positive $545,000, a positive variance to budget of $8,000, and a positive variance of $268,000 to actual for the same period last year. And that's mainly due to labor and benefits being lower. Any questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Under unfinished business, we have none. And under new business, we have the Stonehenge Clubhouse interior renovation PR for $741,000.
Show and tell here. This is the Stonehenge Clubhouse, and the renovations are only in the colored areas. So you can see this area right here is not colored. That's the kitchen area. So that we hope to do in the winter of 2020 and 2021. So that's kind of phase two. So in essence, we're actually gutting the whole interior except for the load-bearing walls, and then redoing everything. So this is the entrance right here. And in essence, the floor plan is very similar to the Dorchester floor plan, where you walk in and you'll be able to see all the way through to the rear of the clubhouse, the hallway. And as you enter onto the left is the restrooms that will now be ADA compliant. And we're taking up some of the golf office and golf storage space in order to accomplish that. In the golf area, be all new fixtures like we did at Dorchester. Again, all new flooring, lighting, whole 9 yards. So it's a completely new and fresh look. Then on the grill side, again, all new flooring, lighting, finishes, things of that nature. And the service station used to be right here. That's going to be moving to where the ladies' restroom is right now. So we already got water right there, so that helps. And then, of course, the bar area, totally redone. It'll have more of a look like the fireside lounge with the TV right in the middle and the cabinetry, what have you, to store the liquor and everything. So again, it's really a complete renovation, including electrical upgrades as well as HVAC upgrades. I know we've had a lot of complaints about areas that are too hot, too cold, things of that nature. So we'll be redoing most of the HVAC system and get that up to date and more balanced and what have you. So that's it. Any questions on that and what we're trying to accomplish with this? Yes, sir.
When are we starting construction on that?
Like to start November 1st, actually November 4th, Monday, November 4th. So we'll close down Stonehenge end of day, October 31st. Then we've got to get a lot of stuff out of their equipment, things of that nature, and then have the contractor come in November 4th and start demolition. So the goal is to have this done such that when we normally reopen the Stonehenge Clubhouse April 1st, we're ready to go. So it's a tight window, and that's, again, why we're only doing the interiors and not doing anything with the kitchen or the exteriors this year. That's for next year, so that we can confine it to the winter months when we're normally closed anyway.
Another question?
Yes, Mary?
Bob, what's the seating capacity? Is it going to change from what it is now to what it will be when you're done?
It's actually going to be a little less. We're going to have 100 seats between here, that'll be 82 seats, and actually 16 seats outside, so a total of 98. And then you'll have the outdoor seating right now. So it's fewer seats. What we found is this, currently it's a little bit tight. Also, if you go over 100 seats, you have to have a sprinkler system in your restaurant as well. So that's another component, cost factor there. But I feel like, again, it's really too tight right now, so we need to kind of give people a little more space. Plan to have 2 8-top tables in the restaurant as opposed to just one right now, so there'll be a little more seating for larger groups. That's it. Other questions? Yes.
Will the reservation part of seating include that outside seating?
No, Stonehenge Grill will have no reservations. We've always been a no reservation policy at Stonehenge Grill, and that will continue.
But in 2 years, it's going to go to reservations. So.
No, game plan will be still first come, first serve. Yeah, because what you have to remember is in the morning and lunchtime, you have golfers coming off the golf course that may want to eat. So typically, they're not going to be thinking about making reservations, what have you. So it really is designed to be more of a golf 19th hole / grill. So no reservations. Again, as we get into doing it year round, we see we have issues, we may go to that, but initially we'll start with no reservations. Other questions, sir?
Yeah.
Mr. President, I have a statement to make concerning this project. Stonehenge Clubhouse PR for $741,000 for interior reservations is to be completed later in 2019 and through 2020, with additional renovations scheduled for the fall of 2020 and the spring of 2021, which will include the kitchen and exterior. The total cost of these renovations of the Stonehenge Clubhouse is estimated to be about $1.4 million total versus a current budget of $800,000. The FAC, the Financial Committee, has not reviewed the proposed PR, and I've scheduled a combined meeting today with the FAC and the Capital Project Committee to review this phase of the project and the budget deviation. Obviously, we need to look at our current 5-year plan and review and reschedule future projects to enable us to support this projected budget deviation of an additional $600,000. These changes will be reviewed in November with the membership during the 2020 proposed budget presentation. The Major Capital Projects Committee is currently reviewing all bids for the first phase of this project and will make a recommendation this week as to which contractor they believe we should enlist. Today's PR used the estimates from the contractor that built Dorchester Clubhouse. The Major Capital Projects Committee will continue to review the project for additional cost savings. Understanding that to complete the first phase of this project is in a timely fashion, we need to have a vote on this project today. I'm willing to support this PR with a noted request that the board review and consider the FAC's recommendations as a result of our meeting later today concerning the alternatives to funding this project. I also request that all future projects of $100,000 or more be reviewed with the FAC prior to a vote by the board. Thank you.
Okay, so noted. Phil?
Mr. President, in appreciation really of what Mr. Cox has just stated and the understanding that the Financial Advisory Committee will be meeting later today, and with a further understanding that, as is always the case, we can always revisit We can revise, we can even rescind any action taken today. And we can do that in a timely fashion so it doesn't interfere with the bid letting process in this particular case. I move that we approve the purchase request as submitted for the interior renovations of the Stonehenge Clubhouse in the amount of $741,000.
Okay, I have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is carried. Mr. Glade, we come back for the FGRS update.
Packed house today, huh? Maybe we're on schedule for a new record here.
Make it quick, Matt.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the new board, Diane. What were you thinking? Anyway, congratulations. Well, Ken, good luck, buddy. You're gonna need it. You know, just quickly looking around the room, I see one of my favorite people here is Jeff Houston. You all know him as our director of golf. And I just found out recently, many moons ago, I took a couple of lessons from him, and all he kept saying to me was, "Hey, Pat, keep your head down, keep your head down." Turns out, he didn't want me to see him laughing. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Never forgotten that. Anyway, the Playhouse concert that we had here at the Glade, we want to thank the following people. It was extremely successful. We had about 850 attendees, just about maximum as far as the fire department is concerned. And I want to thank the board of directors, Bob Weber and his management team, especially Sheila, Kim, and the ladies at the front desk who did a great job selling tickets. And last but not least there, Bob Bennett, the guy that sets up the chairs and takes them down. This guy is in shape, let me tell you, he's fabulous. Our sponsors, Kirk Automotive, CMC, Kirk Insurance, Cumberland County Bank, and Best Friends. And last but not least, our residents and guests that come here and support these fundraisers of ours. Everything's humming along beautifully at FGRS. We're always looking for new volunteers. We just recently had a very successful picnic, thanks to Mary Jo and her husband who helped distribute food and cook. You know, these people have better things to do on a weekend, and they come out and spend some time with our organization, putting this food out and cleaning up. Mary Jo, we really appreciate it. Thank you. Last but not least, I just want to bring up one quick thing. A reminder to everybody, if you do not have your vial of life kit, please get over to our facility, or if after this meeting I might have a few extra in the car, you need to have one of these in your home. You know, we are an aging population, and you never know. Most people say to me, well, I don't need it. Well, that's a lot of baloney. Down the road, sooner or later, something could happen. And these kits are like an insurance policy. And I recommend that everybody make sure they have it and fill it out. Okay? Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Pat.
one last thing. I hope I thanked Mary before, but again, Mary, we want to thank you very much for the calendar. One of your photographers is right here, Steve. Our calendars are still available. They're on sale for $12. We sold out our initial order. I think we've had them pre-order, Mary. Is that correct?
I don't know that.
Well, I believe we do, yeah, we did sell it out. So anyway, they're available down there. And also, a lot of people still need a phone book, even though it's only good for a couple of more months. We still have those. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pat. At this time, if there are any comments from the floor, we'll entertain those.
I have more of a question. Question okay?
Sure.
The timeshare? It's been noted several times that timeshare visits are down this year. Why do you think that is?
Why are less people coming to
Yeah.
our resort?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, why do less people go to a ball game or some other, or why do people go to different destinations? I don't think it's anything that we're doing. I think people are traveling differently.